this might be quicker to get into sugar beet actually. So we definitely delivered the sugar beet. We've definitely delivered it to the right place, but it hasn't registered it. So, which means we're going to lose out on a bit of money, because as soon as the contract's finished, I'm going to stop unloading and empty that tipper out. There we go. So we normally, obviously with contracts, you get a little bit extra cash from the leftover. But yeah, I don't know why we're having, I don't know if it's the mod we're using for the contracts or it's the way this map's set up. Mind you, it hasn't just been this map, we've had issues with contracts, is it?
This is just being funny about the fact that we're doing 2 of the same fruit types.
Well, you can head back to the boo. I will head back to the boo with the magic of blinking of an eye. See, I drove here in my truck. Look at that, my ute. We'll pick up for the rest of you weirdos. Pick up. It's a ute. It's a utility vehicle, ute. Yeah, I know. Us Southern Hemisphere people are pretty lazy with our words. We shorten everything. We even shorten the word short to short. Oh, actually, maybe everyone says that. Never mind. Scrap that. Maybe I'm working hard to contrast. I like it. Yeah. No, I think it's to do with the mod. I mean, it's a really good mod. Oh, I've still got to pay the wages. But I think it's something to do with that mod or a conflict with one of the other mods. All right, you're ready to go. Transfer money. 8,400. Look at that. Who wants to earn that a day? How we're gonna transfer money? Next. And transfer money. Done, son. Right, I'll sleep. Actually, I might as well sleep. Let's put the speed down to 1 times and I might as well go off and make my coffee. Because it's almost that time anyway. So let's get through the night and then I'll prepare your point of view. What's the time? Current time is...
It's 22:30.
Yeah, 22:30. So we'll go to what? We want to go 8 hours? 7 hours. We'll go 7 hours. That will go 8 hours. Pity I can't go halves. Alright, mate. Yeah, so that's 8 and 10's 1860. Yeah, that's right. That should be about 6:30 in the morning. Right, I'm going to go off and make myself a coffee. I'll be back. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Patrio here. Let me just show you what that looks like. It looks like that. That's Patrio. Big brother's keeping an eye on him, making sure he does his job. I'll return soon. See you in a second.
Morning, Aussie. He's just away making his coffee at the moment.
Actually, I'm back. Oh, oh. Better turn that off. Got your sound coming through. Oh, bugger. Oh, look, the Toyota's turned up. What am I doing? I'm pressing that button. Yeah. Am I? Yeah. No, that's... Yep, I'm back. I'm with it. No, I'm not. Never with it. It's just a nasty rumour somebody started and I haven't figured out who it is yet. Could have been me, actually. I can't even get over the fence. How AM? Where is yours? Probably in the jug. Oh, if you really want one, mate, just give me your address and I'll send over a little bit of coffee to you. A cup, a bit of milk if you have that, and sugar as well, and a match to heat it up with. Never say that I don't think about people, or I'm there for you. Generous to a fault I am. That fault is I'm never generous.
Something makes me wonder if you can boil a cup of water using a magnifying glass.
Oh, no, don't. Good one. That's more expensive than a match. Not sending that over.
Yeah. Yeah, but it works better in our climate.
A little sprinkling of chocolate. Really? I haven't got any chocolate. What I've got is Neapolitan chocolate, actually. Which was really, really yummy. My dear old mother bought some Cadbury's drinking chocolate, thinking it was just plain old chocolate. Didn't realise they made other flavours. And it turned out to be a Neapolitan one, which I've only ever had in ice cream. And she goes, I don't like it. Do you want it? And I went, oh, I'll give it a go. And I gave it a go the other day, and it was so yummy. It was so nice. So I might end up putting it on top of my cappuccinos, if I remember to do so. What field you on? 79?
Yep.
I'll send it over. Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. Yourself? Yeah. Well, look, I grew up on Milo, as we all did. I think in the southern hemisphere, didn't we? We all grew up on Milo. Yeah, I do definitely prefer it over a Milo.
I don't know, I'm pretty partial to Milo mockers.
I find the Cadbury one a lot sweeter, that's all, so I like that. Which way are you going? You going up and down? I'll go the other side then. No, you're coming down there, alright, fair enough. Hang on, I thought I got rid of you.
Well, to be fair, the entire field's been squared off and I just returned back to the top to put the bales with the rest of them.
Oh, okay, so which way you... I'll just... I'm going to go east to... No,
North-south.
I'll go
North-south is the
north-south.
best bet.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, well, yeah, I imagine so, but I take it your shoulder survived, which is good news. Take that to the doctors and say, hey, you were wrong.
And then I gotta go off and do a BRB myself.
Okay. Oh, really? In that case, tell your wife I appreciate the fact she's doing the typing for you so we can converse. No, you're probably sitting there with the other one with one finger at a time. Holding your arm with your hand up. Oh, you poor beggar. Oh, as long as it worked out well last night, I hope it was all worth the effort. Or voice to text, yeah. I don't think Google can handle the Australian accent though. Shots across the bow, wait for the return fire. Oh, that's a shame, mate. Well, you did what you could, eh? But I mean, you always want a better outcome with that. But unfortunately, and it sucks that this is a saying, and it's even worse than it's true. But unfortunately, that's life, isn't it? So how do you have your coffee again? Where was that? You have it Cat Light. Is that the milk, is it? Like, we have light blue and dark blue milk. And if you really want, you can have the old silver top, which is the untouched milk. The milk that I remember as a child, it came with the cream on the top. Before they decided, no, that's unhygienic. We need to pasteurise it and homogenise it and make it last less longer than it used to and not taste as good. Yeah, so it's our light blue. We got the green cap. I don't know if you got the green cap, which is the skim milk type. Very, very well. It's water that's been sort of slightly recoloured with the paintbrushes. That's what it looks like. Reminds me of paintbrushes, you know. That you put into water. Well, turpentine really, to clean them off after you use white paint. Hello, Eds. Who else has got ads? I can't have milk in my coffee. For years I used to have it what we call a state house coffee, which is just milk and 2 sugars. And so in case you don't know what a state house is, I'm sure most of you do, but a state house is a house that's owned by the government. Because in New Zealand, for a long time, the #1 priority of the government was making sure that everyone in the country had housing. That sort of went down the tubes a lot when the economy went down the tubes, obviously. But so there was a lot of houses, state houses around so people with low income and that would actually have a house to live in. And because everyone had their coffee, milk and 2 sugars. That's just how I used to have it. And then I did this diet for some reason, probably for the sake of it, really. I didn't really need to do the diet. Well, I didn't think I needed to do the diet. I weighed 102 kilograms, and I'm 6 foot, so I really wasn't in need of a diet, but I did a diet that was designed by the German Institute of Health for people that actually needed heart surgery but were too obese at the time to be able to have the surgery. So with this diet, you do it for 2 weeks and you're supposed to lose 7 kilos. But it's obviously not designed for people that are working at the time, because I lost 15 kilos. And one of the things you can do is, or the only things you could drink was black coffee and water. That's all you could drink. And so I did that for 2 weeks. And for some reason I decided to incorporate Christmas Day in that 2 weeks. It actually ended on Boxing Day. So on Boxing Day I could eat whatever I like. The diet was over. But Christmas Day I had to sit through Christmas Day watching everyone eat all like roasts and turkeys and all sorts of yummy stuff that I couldn't touch because of the diet. But the first thing, I had to go to work. That was part of my contract, was working on a Boxing Day. And I went to work, and the first thing I did was make myself a coffee with milk and 2 sugars in it. Number one, it was just so sweet. But number two, which still happens now, is when I went to brought the coffee up to my mouth, I could smell curdled milk. And I still do it to this day. I could smell it and taste it in the coffee as curdled milk, and which I thought makes sense really, because you're pouring boiling hot water onto milk. So why wouldn't it? So yeah. What's the mod you're using, please, for the Harvest Guild? The one I'm in now? You mean this cotton harvester? AM. Is that what you're asking? Okay, you mean the GPS type of thing? Yeah. That's actually part of which you can get off the mod hub. The vehicle add-on mod, I think it's called. Hang on, I'll turn around, I'll come back up. Line it up. And it's this mod here. Which I thought it'd have the name of it on it, but apparently it doesn't. But I think it's called, we'll stay on this view, eh? We spent a bit of time in the cab view, let's get a different view. Yeah, it's on the mod hub, and I think it's called the Vehicle Control add-on. I think. I know one of the mods I've got is called that. It's either that one or the one on the bottom right there, which gives me the ability to turn four-wheel drive on and off, and diff locks on and off, and tells me the repair state of all the implements and the vehicles and all that kind of stuff, and the fuel usage and whatnot. But it's done by the same person that does the AI extension mod, Mowgli or whatever his name is. The one on the mod hub 2 is more updated version than the one I've got. No, it's not the golden steering wheel. I do have that on, but I prefer this one over that. It's just a lot simpler to use for the most part. It might be a bit better with the updated one. The reason why I haven't updated this is because I'm lazy. And it's because I've got this because when I used to use keyboards before I got the steering wheel, the keyboard I used his keyboard steer mod, which was a lot really good for keyboard steering, because it's the steering sort of acted like you had a steering wheel. The wheel slowly came back to the center, and he made it again for 19, but it was available in the mod hub in 17, but they knocked it back this time, and he wasn't too happy about that, and he brought this mod out, and so he incorporated both of them. And the other thing that the keyboard steering mod had was options for when you turn a corner, the camera, which I'll do it here, I'll go into cab view. So I'll keep the camera straight. Hopefully that shows you, but when I turn to the right here, you'll see the camera automatically turn to the right as well, so you can see where you're going. And that's part of it. The other part was shuttle control, which came really handy, obviously when I got the wheel and pedals and that. Because then I can use the accelerator to reverse and go forward. I just use the clutch to switch between going forwards and backwards. Otherwise I've got to use the brake, and the brake's a bit harder, and I can't to reverse with, and I can't control the throttle as well as I can with the accelerator pedal. So that's why I used it. And then he introduced, oh whoops, never mind, I'll get it on the way back up. Introduced a lot of other features. It's purely good for if you've got gears and that, because you can set up transmissions and your shifters and stuff with it. So different different types of gear setups, things for pickups, things for gears for cars, gears for trucks, gears for tractors, the different type of gear setups you got, like the BT whatever it is, or other setups. So a bit more realism on that factor. But yeah, he added in the guidance thing a bit later on. I was using the guidance steering mod beforehand, but I never liked it because I was used to the one in 17. But obviously that never came back because the guy that did that mod was what became part of the development team of Cattle and Crops. And I just find that drive to A to B, which is realistic from what I'm told from the farmers that will know, that's how the GPS is set up on your tractors in real life. You do it a point to point to set up the GPS, but I don't like it. So I got this one because it's easier to set up. It's like the old one in 17 where you just use Control W to set the line, to engage it, and Control W to unengage it, and your Alt W to reset it. The only thing that doesn't work that well with this mod, like I said, he might have fixed that with the update, is that there is a auto width thing on it, but if you're using a tractor, say you grab a seeder, and you got the seeder on the back, it automatically detect the width of the seeder. But then you go off and you put another implement on, like a plough or something, with a different width. It won't change the width. You've got to manually do it, which is not that difficult. It's easy. It's just you click on the width and type in the width. I just find it a lot easier. It was a lot easier to turn it around. Like if you want to do headlands, I can come down here. I haven't done it in a while, so I can't remember the key, but it's just an easy key setup to turn it 45 degrees, so you could actually do a headland really easy using the lines instead of with the other one where you got to stop it and then do another A to B setup to do the headlands if you want to do a square. And a lot easier to move it from right to left as well, the lines in that one, so hence the reason why I use this one and not the other one. I'm a big fan of it. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like this mod. But yeah, like I said, it's on the mod hub. Another thing I like about this is you can set it up so when you automatically go into reverse, it automatically face the camera backwards. So I haven't got it set up on this. And you can set it up for it to just do that when you're in cab. So I find it handy when you're in a tractor and you start reversing, then instead of using your mouse to turn your head around, it just automatically turns around. No, I wish I had a track IR. No one in this country sells it, and it's hugely expensive. I'd love a track IR for this and ETS too and ATS. Yeah, nobody sells it in this country. I have to get it in from overseas, and last time I looked, which was a few years ago, it was like hugely expensive, $600-700 for the cheap one. And I'm just trying to think of the conversion in pounds for you. What would that be? I think it's almost 3 to 1 really, so possibly like $1,500, 1,500 quid. Yeah, exactly. See, for me that's what would that be here? I'm pretty sure it's 3 to 1. One of our dollars is three pounds. Roughly. It used to be, I don't know. It'll probably change now.
I did try running a track DIY setup for a while back, so you get the infrared filter off a webcam and then a bit of circuitry and some infrared LEDs, just wire that up to the headphones. Kind of worked, but yeah, too bulky, and you had this battery pack hanging off your headset, so it just got uncomfortable. But funny enough, I have used track IR when I've done farming sim in VR, which is a whole rigmarole of stuff to make it work. But you end up using the VR position data as a track IR proxy.
Yeah, I can imagine, just like with the wheel. See, I couldn't play this game or the trucking game without a wheel anymore. It just totally changes the game, and I imagine Track IR would be the same thing, especially like, I mean, I'm sort of lucky with my setup with the wheel, but I've seen plenty of streamers and that who use a wheel and struggle because you've got to put your keyboard, which you still got to use, and your mouse in a position, and I see people like stretching over to reach their keyboard or mouse and stuff like that, especially just to, you know, change your view. So Track IR, I'd love that. I saw someone use it, a well-known streamer for the trucking sims. When he first used it, I went, oh, I so want that. I want to be able to just look at the screen and turn my head left or right instead of worrying about the mouse. Because that's the only really real reason I use the mouse mainly in these games. And the trucking game even more so, it would be, you know, because you're driving in the cab. It's a lot more handy. So I envy you with your Track IR. Though there is software on Steam you can get. I know a couple of people tried it and said it was okay, wasn't that bad. That uses you if you've got a webcam, and uses your webcam to track your face and works a similar way.
Yeah, face track IR. Depends on your lighting, I found with that one. Actually, I have given that one a go. Same as you can do passive track IR using like reflective strips on a hat.
Sorry, I was reading, what did you say? I was reading what Darkest wrote, posted.
Oh, so that, yeah, so you can get face tracking with face track IR, but that depends on lighting. I found that a lot of my rooms were either too dark or my light is behind where the computer is, so unless I get like a panel light or something, it just can't keep a consistent track on my face. And then the other one was with track IR that has the option to use like reflective strips on a hat, so you can get like a cap or a baseball cap or something and put little bits of squares on it so it tracks off that instead of having to use the LED thing.
Yeah, well, I know Ryder, he used, I was talking to him about he used that software from Steam because I think it was free at the time to try out, and I'm pretty sure it's quite cheap, but he said it was really, really good. The only issue was if you're having a coffee and you go drink your coffee, the view would disappear and stuff because you're moving your head to grab the coffee to see where it is and stuff like that. But then I thought, well, yeah, you do that anyway when you haven't got one of those on, but the view stays the same. But when you come back, I thought the view would be in the right position. But yeah, so you got whoops, let me just drive over the crop for the sake of it. So you got steering wheel pedals, joystick for loaders. Yeah, see, I don't use loaders. So it's not that thing, because yeah, I don't like the physics. Used them in real life myself and forklifts and that, and that's why I use auto load trailer on this instead of loading it on, because I just can't stand the physics. I know it's a bit picky, but it's just not realistic. Admittedly, the fork are a lot better in 19 than they were in 17 and stuff. But still, not the way I used to be able to use them in real life. Especially the forklifts.
Also, rewinding back to the eye tracker, that'd be the Toby eye tracker, which I have seen around. It's a very clever bit of kit, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we support this. I'm like, but who has it? I've seen maybe 2 or 3 people use it.
I've seen actually more options for the Toby tracker than Track IR in games. And yet I hardly hear anyone. In fact, I don't know of anyone that uses it. Yeah, 15, yeah. Yeah, so with 15, because you had the forestry, I used a lot of the scorpions and the stuff and picking the crane up, and yeah. It was a lot of fun. You spent more time picking up your log that you missed or fell off the truck because you didn't put it on properly than anything else. Hence the reason why I didn't bother doing much forestry in 17 and definitely done none in 19 at all. Mind you, I got a bit sick. I did a whole bunch in 15. It did have straps. I'm pretty sure it did have straps. I mean, just to give you a reference of how much forestry I did. I did over 3,000 hours playing that game. And the majority of that was me doing forestry. And in between that was either setting up course play or flattening down the bunker for the silage, because you got so much money from silage in 15. So if I wasn't quickly flattening it down, it was a lot quicker to flatten down the silage than it was in 17 too. And 19, yeah, I was either flattening down the silage or just quickly setting up a course play course to do all the farming, and then the rest of the time was me chopping down a tree or two. So I sort of got sick of that really quick, and that's why I didn't do too much of it in 17. I started off in 17 doing some forestry, but I just got over it so quick. But yeah, the wheel for me just changed the game completely. Not only obviously with the driving, but the fact that I can use my shifter and assign keys to my shifter. Yeah, they are. So the guy we're admins for, which is Frithgar.